Good morning, good morning, good morning. Kiss up to God. To God be the glory for all the wonderful works that He does. Thank you, God, for another do over. Thank you, God, for another day to get it right. Thank you, God, for life, health, and strength. Thank you, God, for family and friends. Thank you, God, for life, health, and strength. Lord, thank you for another day that we've never seen before. Thank you for brand new grace and brand new mercies because I'm sure I used some of those things up yesterday. So you guys probably have too. But you give us brand new every day that you decide to touch us with that finger of love. And God, if we have the opportunity to say I'm sorry, allow that opportunity because I'm sorry can restore and can recover a whole lot of things. But please say it with sincerity. And I hope you all know that when I do all of that, I open up in prayer. So if you don't pray today, if you watch me, you got your prayer in already. Just thank you, God, for loving us. This morning, I'm coming on with your words have repercussions. And that when I come on, I know that I'm saying things that you already know. And I know I bring things that without a doubt. But sometimes we need to be reminded. Or sometimes, people can say it in a different way. Same story, different way. And hopefully this resonates with you today. And it's because of experiences and because of something. Um, I was speaking to a friend for 4 hours because that's how hurt she was by a family member. And it's because of the words that were said to her, the text that she got. And the one thing that we realized that we know once you write and say some words, it's everlasting. Those words can make or break a person. Those words, as Proverbs is in Proverbs the 18th chapter, 21st verse. The tongue has the power of life and death. Your tongue has the power to make or break. Your tongue has the power to destroy. And I looked up repercussions. Let me see repercussions. Repercussions. An unintended consequence occurring sometime after an event or action, especially an unbelievable one. The recall of something after impact. And recall means to refuse to accept ideas or principles, feelings, strong dislike, or disapproval. Unforeseen long term consequences, aftermath, outcome, ripple effect. That's what that is. It's a ripple effect. It's an outcome. Um, it's long term consequences because even when you're angry, which there's guilty, there's been a lot of times that things are being said and you don't mean them. Sometimes you don't mean to say them, or you like, I'm so mad that you say them. But who you say them to can really deter them. And it can really set the tone for their day, set the tone for their life. We have, I work in the school system. You have some kids coming looking so sad. And it's because the parents had said something to them so hurtful that their day starts off in a funk. Sometimes you can reel them back in, and sometimes you can't. It affects their life. How many times have you heard, people say, "You're not gonna amount to nothing. You're gonna be just like your daddy, just like your mother. You're just like this." Those things hurt, and sometimes you're speaking these things into existence. You're speaking them into the atmosphere, especially when they're negative. You're speaking them into somebody's life, and it affects their life. That's why it's so important to try to make sure you speak as much positiveness as you can. And some of that comes with maturity also. Because when we are mad and when we're angry, we don't stop and think. And sometimes the things that happen was not that person's fault. And I remember, when my mom used to say, even like when it comes to like discipline, never hit a child in anger, never say things to a child in anger, never, try not to say stuff to your partner in anger because it affects them. It make you feel different towards that person. I don't care if it is your mama, your daddy, your spouse. You know, it still makes you look at them different in a sense, because sometimes every time you look at them, those words come back to you, and those words hurt. And then we'll say, I don't care, it don't matter to me. They can say whatever they want to say, but that's a lie. That's a lie. Because we all have feelings, and we all don't want them hurt. No one wants to sit up there and hear those words repeating in their mind over and over again, because that's what it does. I mean, I'm talking about from childhood. That's where some of the most hurt come from, is when you are a child trying to grow up. There are no handbooks. There's nothing telling you how to raise your children, how to, you know, be a certain way. A lot of times you go by mistakes and you try not to do them over again. But the only handbook that you have for anything in your life is the word. Anyway, if you stay into the word, but still, there's nothing telling you how to, be a parent, be a wife, be a best friend, be a sister, be a brother. It's nothing really telling you. But if you have a good heart, it's easy, because once you let that love come in, love is the light, hate is the darkness. Once you have that love overshadowing that hate, some things are easier to come out. But when that darkness come in and that hatred is there, you heard people say she hateful. Some people you don't even talk to and deal with, because they're so negative and so hateful and so mean that you don't want to be bothered. And a lot of times those people might be like that because of what was said to them as children. Sometimes it's good to talk, to try to get to know a person and see where some of that hurt, that anger, that hatefulness, that darkness come from. Maybe it was instilled as, when you're young. I know some of the things were. That's why I've always tried to be very positive, especially like raising my son. There were moments I was not the perfect mother. There was a lot of moments when I was so mad at him, and I was so, because my one I wouldn't have to discipline him because of certain things that he was doing or saying. Same thing with my mom, and I have a sweet mother. But there are times that you do have to discipline, but I don't remember her speaking those words into none of her children's mind, that you amount to nothing, that you are nothing, I don't remember those words. And I don't remember saying those words to my son. I remember, being on his case about certain things, but always try to speak those things, because they do have consequences. They do impact, they do have a ripple effect on your children, on your spouse, on your employees, on your employers. Don't think that you could just say something and then come back the next day and smile about it and feel like that it's all right, that it's all good, because a lot of times it's not. Being yelled at and cursed out, not a good feeling. You don't forget those things. They stay in your memory bank. Once it's planted, it's there, and it can affect your long term life. And I know you already know this, but sometimes it's good to hear it again. Sometimes it's good to sit back and, especially once you become older, once your life has started in a different direction, it's good to sit back and reminisce and go over things. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you so much for joining me. So a lot of times it's so good to just sit back and think about a lot of the stuff that we have done over our life that really affected somebody else's life. the words that you say, the words that you put out in the atmosphere, and then you wonder why negativity is in there. Start speaking positive things in your life, in your children's life, in your mate's life. Put it in the atmosphere because what you put out there comes back. What you speak comes back. So speak positiveness, speak love, speak gratitude in other people's world, other people's life, because sometimes that might be the only time that they hear it. You never know what people are going through. You never know what is hurting people. So try to be that light. Let your light shine amongst people. Be that brightness in somebody's world. You never know who might come back to you and say, because of your light that day, I didn't jump. Because of what you said to me, I got that job. Because of what you said to me, I went home and I made dinner, I cleaned up. You never know what you can say to somebody that's going to change their world, that's going to change their life. And that's what we're here for. It's not all about the meanness and the darkness and being hateful and being ugly towards people. Give them a smile. You never know. If you think anybody needs to hear this, please share it with them. Please. Thank you for joining me this morning. I appreciate you. My name is Jennifer Brooks. I am your Southern Belle, and I am on the right road now. Y'all have a blessed day. Now you're here. God bless. Smile today, y'all.